Hey guys, Dennis Sepulveda here, and today I've got Karen Gibbard from Gibbard Group Financial.
Hi.
Thank you, Karen, for joining us. We're going to talk mortgages today, guys. So if you're at home quarantining, hopefully you'll find this interesting. There's been a lot going on in the mortgage world in the past little while, so I've asked Karen to come and speak to us. Karen, first, how are you doing? How are you holding up over there?
Oh, you know what? All of us, all our entire team are working from home. We're incredibly remote and very grateful for it. But I will say this is probably one of the busiest, craziest times in the mortgage history since I've been a mortgage broker, and that's going
Wow.
on 20 years now.
Wow, that's insane. I think it's crazy all over, in all industries right now. Like,
Absolutely.
there's no script for this. Nobody knows what to do. This is unprecedented on every industry. So it's
There's
nuts.
literally no script for this video.
Yeah, there is. We don't know what's going on. So let's see how this goes. What's been going on in the mortgage world? Like I've been following the mortgage rates drop, right? So the Bank of Canada, I know they dropped the rate 3 times in like 2 weeks, which is crazy. In the States, it's down to 0.25, I think it is right now. Here we're at 0.75, I believe, is the overnight rate.
Correct.
So how is that affecting the mortgage world? Like what's going on in your world?
Well, the government was taking a proactive measure in light of some of the negative things that are happening because of the coronavirus. And it was really meant to give some stability to the market, give some confidence to the clients that are borrowing monies.
Mhm.
And it's translated into affecting what the prime rate has done. The prime rate has dropped over 1%. It's gone from 3.95 down to 2.95 with most institutions
Yeah.
over the last little bit. And so we're seeing that having a huge effect with anybody that has lending that's based on the prime rate. So whether it's a variable rate mortgage that you have an existing variable rate mortgage, or a line of credit, or car loans, anything like that that's based on the prime rate,
Right.
right now, effectively, your rate is dropped by 1%.
So everybody who already has mortgages, there should be saving on their. If it's a variable rate, they should be seeing some savings coming.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
How long does that take for them? Does it come out next month or right away? Is that how it works? Or
It depends on the institution because each one has their own protocol of how they do it. A lot of times, the lenders will change their prime lending rate on the first of the month. Now,
yeah.
something to bear in mind: not every single lender has the same prime lending rate. So a
Okay.
TD prime lending rate is going to be different than a Scotiabank prime lending rate or a
Right.
credit union prime lending rate. So if you are looking at getting anything that's based on prime or a variable rate mortgage, you really want to ask the financial institution or the mortgage broker, what's the base prime rate with that institution? Because
Okay.
it can differ. So for instance, the difference between TD and Scotiabank is 15 basis points.
Wow.
TD's is a different prime lending rate.
Wow. Nuts.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's good news for existing mortgage holders. What about people looking to get mortgages? Are they going to be able to capitalize on this rate drop? Like, are they going to get lower mortgages now? Like, what's going on for new people? Let's say I want to take out a mortgage today. What am I looking at?
Yeah, well, it depends on what type of mortgage you want. So there's a variable rate mortgage and there's a fixed rate mortgage, and both of those are priced very differently. And so it depends on your outlook of what interest rates are going to do, if you can afford mortgage payments to change, because a variable rate mortgage, some payments can change as the interest rate, as the prime lending rate changes. And it depends on just your own conservativeness as to whether you're going to go fixed or variable. So
Okay.
right now, if you're going to take a variable rate mortgage, all the rates right now are competitive. They're
Okay.
all historically low. We
Wow.
have seen a bunch of changes in the last little bit, for sure.
Yeah.
Last week, the fixed rate mortgages were far cheaper than they are this week, and rates on the fixed term mortgages. So that's like your
Last week they were
5 year
cheaper
fixed
than they are
term.
this week. Is that what you said?
Sorry.
Did you just say last week they were cheaper than they are this week? The fixed rate?
Correct. Yes. So
Oh
even
wow.
though even though the bank rate changed, the prime rate dropped, what we saw was fixed rate mortgages. So those people getting a 5 year fixed term, which is probably what 85% of Canadians get right now.
Yeah.
It's just what we're used to. It's just the most
This rate
conservative,
standard.
well-used term that people get.
Yeah.
Those rates actually went up, and they're going up again on Monday.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just the lenders are a bit nervous right now. They're worried about their liquidity. They're worried about what's happening in the over general economy. Now, the government came out, CMHC came out earlier this week saying they're going to free up a bunch of, and I'm trying not to sound too technical because it's in the back end, companies will buy mortgages, which releases liquidity to the banks to lend out more and more money.
Right.
So there was a cap on it, and now that cap has been changed. They've allowed another $10 billion worth of these mortgage-backed securities to come into place to help with the liquidity issue.
Okay.
So I don't know if we're going to see rates skyrocketing or anything like that, but we've certainly seen a jump in rates over the past 7 days.
That's wow. That's crazy to hear. I mean, I was expecting the exact opposite. I thought the government would be putting these measures in to create more buyers, and I wonder how that's going to affect the market if rates are going to actually go up, and people are probably going to be forced to sell because people are losing their jobs left, right, and center. Every career is being hit by this COVID-19. So,
well, there are some. Again, here's another new thing that's come out this week. So the big banks and now some of the smaller institutions, mortgage institutions, monolines, those kind of companies have come out saying that they want to help clients through this process. Yeah. So there is a program in place as long as your institution is allowing you to qualify for it, and you do have to qualify for it, and that's where you have the ability to defer your payments for up to 6 months. Now, the important thing to know is that it's on a case-by-case basis. It's on an as-need basis. So people that are still fully employed, are still able to work from home, have no problem with their debt obligations, those probably aren't going to be the people that will be allowed to postpone. And note that this is a postponement. It is not free 6 months worth of payments. You will have to pay them back. Yeah. But it's just a little bit of relief going through this period.
I just want to reiterate that. So just for everyone listening, so the banks, is this all banks that are offering 6 months period of postponing your payments?
Correct.
And
now we're waiting for
all
details.
Canadian institutions? Okay.
Sorry?
It's all institutions in Canada, all the major lenders?
No, and that's the thing. So the first six big banks came out saying they were going to provide this type of relief. Yeah. And now other lenders are jumping on board. So by no stretch is it every single lender. So you would have to, if you're in that situation where you've been temporarily laid off and you want some respite from your payments, you have to contact the financial institution, your financial institution that holds the mortgage, and ask them if they participate in the program and if you qualify for the program. Okay. But be prepared to be on hold. We've had clients saying they've been 3 days on hold. Well, not on hold, but having to call back for 3 days to try and get through to somebody. And it's just sheer volume. Yes. So there's been a plea going out to people that please don't use this. Please don't call into your lender unless you absolutely need it, because there are people that actually really need this, and they're having a hard time getting through to the lenders to get this organized.
Well, there's so many people that are just on the brink of insolvency, right? They're just one paycheck away from bankruptcy. So I can't imagine what's going to happen. People definitely need that. So it's good to hear that the government's doing that. The banks are allowing that. Yes. Is that something that we can contact their mortgage broker, or do they have to go straight to the bank to get that?
For sure. So last week we were fielding, ever since this announcement came out about the relief program, we were getting inundated by phone calls with people wanting to go ahead and get the process started on it. Yeah. So we're happy if my client wants to call me and find out how they do it, we'll give them the exact number of who they have to call. They take their bank statement, give this company a call. Usually the customer service department. If they can't get through to the main customer service department, my recommendation would be for them to phone the branch. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. Some of the branches are closed due to everything being shut down. Right. So again, patience is what everybody needs at this point. Patience and kindness.
Well, it's a good thing everyone's stuck at home with nothing to do, so they can wait on hold and get it done. So. Well, that's nuts. Okay, so they can call their mortgage broker for information, and you can give them a game plan, what they need to do, what they need to have it organized and ready to go, and then they can approach the banks. So is there other forms of relief that they're doing? So they have the 6 months postponement. Is there anything else that's coming down the pipe, or anything that they've done already that we know of?
We haven't heard anything concrete yet. There's been some whisperings of maybe allowing people that maybe aren't in complete distress, but certainly feeling the pinch, to allow potentially just interest-only payments on a mortgage. Now, that's going to be a bit more difficult for a lender to administer. So we'll see if that comes about.
Okay.
Other government programs that are helping with employment insurance and those kind of things are kicking in more so than what the banks are doing. This is right now the only concrete thing that's coming down. And even now, the banks are trying to figure out exactly how they're going to do it, but at least they're starting to implement something to help people out.
Right. Awesome. Okay. Well, I think that's probably good for today. And I know this thing is changing by the hour. Everything is all over the place right now. So
All over the
I'm
place.
definitely going to ask you to come back and talk to all our viewers here. And thank you so much for your time, Karen. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to put your link below. If anybody has any questions, I'll be able to reach out to you. Hopefully, I know you're very busy, but I know you're still answering emails and taking calls. So yeah, we'll definitely ask you to come back and maybe in a few days and just see what's going on, because it's crazy times everywhere right now. So
Yeah. Happy to do it. If you need anything, let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. All right.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye-bye.